Hi there, my name is Carlos Scarpero. I'm a mortgage loan officer with Paramount Residential Mortgage here in the Dayton, Ohio market. I serve the Dayton and Cincinnati markets mostly. I actually originate loans nationwide, so do loans all around the country. Today we're talking about FHA mortgage loans, talk a little bit about the requirements for FHA mortgage loans and how you can qualify, how you can apply, all those good things. Why are FHA mortgage loans good for you to get? A little bit about FHA. FHA stands for the Federal Housing Authority. They've been doing loans for forever, since like 1934. They provide insurance to the lender in case it goes into foreclosure. They also provide funding for the mortgage loan. Now, there are different types of FHA lenders. FHA sets minimum requirements for FHA mortgage loans, but some lenders will do something called overlays. And so when the overlay is where a lender will add requirements on top of what FHA requires. Luckily for us, we are a no overlay FHA lender, which means we do everything at federal minimum standards, which is great. With FHA mortgage loans, there is a minimum credit score. Now, if you work with a no overlay FHA lender like us, the minimum credit score is 580. And the way we determine that is we look at the three different bureaus. We look at TransUnion, we look at Experian, and we look at Equifax, and we take the middle score. If it's a couple that's doing the mortgage loan application, then we actually look at the lower middle score of the two parts of the application. Now, with an FHA mortgage loan that's at 580, the down payment requirement is 3.5%. Some lenders will also, such as us, will also say, well, if you have a 550 or higher, so between 550 and 579, we can do the loan with 10% down. I don't do a lot of those just because typically when they have those lower credit scores, they also don't have a lot of savings, but it happens every so often, especially if the borrower is buying a new house and they have some equity in their old house that they're cashing out, then oftentimes we're able to do those with that lower credit score. Another thing we look at is the debt ratio. For an FHA mortgage lender like us, that is doing a mortgage loan at minimum requirements, we can actually go up to a debt ratio of 56.9% per FHA rules. And so the way that works is we look at the debts and we also look at the income. So for example, someone that makes $3,000 a month that has $1,500 in debts per month, that debt ratio would be 50%. So we look at different types of income. So we look at your job income and anything like that. We can also consider things like Social Security benefits, child support, all those types of things. Any questions about that, feel free to reach out and I can explain that a little more fully. The next thing we look at is reserves. Reserves are your savings in the bank after you apply for an FHA mortgage, or after the loan closes, I should say. So if you have a loan and you have no savings whatsoever after the thing closes, we don't like that too much. You need at least a month or two, probably 3 or 4 months worth of mortgage payments in the bank after the loan closes. Makes it a lot easier for us to work with you. And we really, it makes it much more helpful for us to approve you. So like I said, we got credit score, debt ratio, and reserves are the big things we look at. What we do is we take all those things and we plug it into a software program called DU, or Desktop Underwriter, to make a determination of whether it is an approval or a decline. And that's all computer generated. Computer algorithms take those things all together to determine whether or not you can get approved for the mortgage. After that, we take a look at it, and then you have to prove what you said. So if you said you made $5,000 a month, then you show some pay stubs that show you actually made $5,000 a month and that type of thing. We can also do manual underwriting. So with manual underwriting, what we do is we will look at what you did and can override some things in Desktop Underwriter. We don't use that too much, but sometimes it can be useful as well, simply because there are often things on the credit report that are incorrect that sometimes we can override, things like that, or just misunderstandings. And so we can do manual underwriting as well. I hope this explains a little more about FHA loans and how you can apply for an FHA loan. If you have any questions, feel free to visit my website, and that is at scarpero.com, SCARPERO.com. I can also be reached at 937-572-3713. That number again is 937-572-3713. Thanks.